Hey guys, Mistmaster1 here, and welcome back to more Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Final Mix HD Proud Level 1. Last time, we crash-landed on this little area in this world, Deep Jungle, after Sora and Dahl got in a little argument about landing here in the first place, and now, since we have little evidence that potentially their king, King Mickey, was here with the gummy block that we found in the last episode, along with some slides that Tarzan looked at along with us, we might actually be we might have some leads on where Riku and Kairi might be, or even maybe what the king is. So, in this episode, we're actually going to go ahead and do that, and be careful! Ah! Sabor is back, and Sabor is much more aggressive than he was. Actually, no, he's about as aggressive as he was the last time we encountered him. And yes, I will be referring to Sabor as a he, because actually, if you look in the journal, I can't believe I'm actually going all the way out here to look at this in particular. Where is it? Sabor. It actually depicts Sabor as a he, or a male. Let's see, a leopard feared by all who live in the jungle, and an enemy of Tarzan. Sabor is a cunning tiger who targets the weak and helpless. He stalked onto the scene in Tarzan 1999. See, it says he there. But in the original movie, Tarzan, Sabor was actually a she, so I don't know. Little error on their part, I guess. I'm going to be calling Sabor a he solely due to the fact the game actually states it as such. Anyway, now, we can traverse these little tree platforms here, such as the ones here, and we can get ourselves a Mega Potion. That chest over there has some very tricky platforming, but it is actually possible to reach at this point in time. I will not be getting that, because I don't think this will make it. Yeah, you could actually make it through, like, this platform over to that platform if you really wanted to, but it's more difficult than it has to be, and plus, we'll be able to pick it up in a revisit to this world later on in the game. So here in Hippo's Lagoon, the pink, friendly hippos will not even care that you're stepping on their back. Get agitated. In real life, you would get mauled and absolutely murdered. Come on, Doofy. Doofy. Goofy, get good. I'm Doofy. That was a good one. But over here, use a little boost with the Keyblade swing. We can find this little chest over here, and if we open it, we can find ourselves our next set of Dalmatians. Numbers 25, 26, and 27 have found their way home. And if you climb up this little pole right here, it'll actually take you to an area above that's the vines too that we looked at through the climbing trees in the last episode. But instead of that, we're actually going to go all the way back to the beginning of the screen, this little area here, and go up this little set of ivy over here, because if you examine it, ivy looks climbable. We're going to go up here first, and I have a particular reason for doing this, nothing super major, but just to show off what the vines area actually looks like before we really do anything. Swing through the treetops on the vines. Select jump on to grab a vine, then swing to the next one by pressing or selecting jump next. Vines will break if you hang on them too long. And right here, you can actually have yourself a little mini game through this little flower here, but it tells us to go see Kerchak first. Minigame is currently inaccessible. We will be able to access this after a few more story events in the game have passed, but here we have the vines. Just like it says, jump from each vine to the next to get across, and it's pretty simple. The hit detection on these things, whether you grab it or not, can be a little finicky, so be careful about that. Making our way over here, by swinging we can find ourselves another mithril. We found 2 mithrils in this world already, cool. And now I'm gonna make my way over to here. It's also advised that the game won't prompt you to actually jump off unless you're next to the vine. But, like, see right here, it fades in and out as you swing away and towards it. But you can actually press the circle button, like, right here. And you can even get yourself a lot of boost by manually jumping off it instead of using the game's little command there.
Kerchak, please listen to me. I know the nesting grounds are secret, but I trust them. You see, I want to help them. Because, well, they need us.
Oh, did you get that?
No!
Kerchak! Kerchak.
Doesn't seem like they want to cooperate with us. He seems sort of distracted by something. Was he looking towards the treehouse? Huh. Well, if that wasn't a clue on where to go next, I don't know what is. And here we are now in the vines too. This is why I avoided going up that pole anyway, because we would end up here regardless of which path we took. So I wanted to show off a bit of what the vines looked like first. Next thing we're going to do right here is swing on these particular vines. That was a bit sketchy. Can be a little tricky here, just time it right and you'll be okay. There we go, and dismount from the vines. Right over here, that's actually the entrance from the place we just came from, but because there was a cutscene here, the game defaulted us in that place over there. And the reason I wanted to come over here is because there's actually a little red chest, and inside of this red chest, as you might be able to guess, is more Dalmatians. Numbers 28, 29, and 30 returned home. So there we go. We've already cleared out 2 out of the 4 Dalmatian sets of Dalmatians that are actually in this area. And we'll be getting 1 more in this video, and hopefully clearing out the last set of Dalmatians, and actually the world in the video after this, but more about that as time goes on. For now, let's try to follow them and go to the treehouse like the game was hinting at. But along the way, remember this area from the last episode? And if you remember over here, there was actually a blue trinity. So now that we have Dalton and Goofy with us, we can now activate it. I believe this will be number 6 out of the 17 that we need. And inside this chest is a Thundara Gummy, which is actually another type of weapon that we can use in gummy missions. And fun fact, that actually, for those who don't know, Final Mix changed around a fair amount of the locations of certain items and stuff, and you could actually find a pair of Dalmatians in that particular chest right there in the original, but in FM they changed it. Okay, let's go to the treehouse. Clayton, what are you doing? No! Whew. Literally dodged the bullet.
What's the big idea?
Wait, Kerchak, please.
You know, if I just witnessed another one of my kind almost get murdered, I wouldn't be very, enthusiastic about joining forces either.
You don't understand. I was only trying to. A snake slithered by. You see, I saved that poor gorilla's life.
You're so full of it. Ah, why would you do that, dude? And now the whole premise of getting them to cooperate with us is dwindling fast. Quick little thing right here about this particular part of the world right here is that if you actually come into this little place after the fact, after that cutscene has happened, you will actually be able to encounter Sabor here, and Sabor will break a hole in the little treehouse, like the little floor as I depicted earlier, and it will stay like that for actually the rest of the game. And you don't even have to defeat Sabor, you can just come back later, and so long as Sabor made the indentation in the floorboards there, it will stay there for the rest of the game. There is a very, very, very small thing that actually changes later. I am personally not going to do it because I want to show off something way down the line is still feasible. But if you do want to make your life a little bit easier, you can do that. I'm not going to bother with it because I can still manage otherwise. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's actually go down the area that Tarzan initially went down beforehand. As you see, it leads to the jungle slider thing like I mentioned in the last video, but just to prove it, there you go. We're gonna head down this little part right here, jungle slider again, but instead we're just gonna quit out since we've already seen this in the last episode. And if you quit out on this particular part of jungle slider, you will actually make your way back to the tent. And that's where exactly where we need to go to progress the next part of the plot.
Could you do such a thing?
Now, Miss Porter, as I told you, I was not aiming at the gorilla.
You are not to go near the gorillas again.
Oh, because of one mishap. Come now. Huh? What am I doing with these imbeciles? Blasted gorillas! I'll hunt down every last one of them! I'll track them down somehow. I'll stake my life on it.
Yeah, just scream that at the top of your lungs when you're like 10 feet away from the tent. Wait, what? Oh dear. Clayton's in a bit of trouble, it seems. We probably shouldn't even warrant helping him after all that, but, you know, let's be good people. But first, quick geography lesson. This is Africa. Okay, there we go. Now let's go out and help him. Clayton, where are you?
Heartless!
Oh man, the Heartless have invaded this place too. Well,
Thunder!
thankfully, since we went to OC in a little, like, Olympus Coliseum, the 2 parts back, we have the Thunder spell and we can get rid of them rather easily. And that's the main reason I wanted to get Thunder so early on, is because it makes this little part at level 1 a lot easier. And let's pick up the money while we're here. Now, for those who didn't notice, there was actually a blue Trinity mark in this area. And I refused to get it until now, because now is an opportune time, since that was a forced sort of little encounter there. Because now we can get this blue Trinity right here. And it's right in the camp area, next to the boxes and the lab table. And from that, alongside getting another thing added to the Trinity archives, we can find ourselves another set of Dalmatians. Numbers 34, 35, and 36 have made their way home. But before we continue on, what I'm actually going to do is enter the tent and access the save point really quick, because now I'd like to give Tarzan some time to shine. There are no more Trinities that we'll need to activate in this world at this point in time, so we can switch out our party members now. That was the main reason why I had the main party that we started out with for most of this world so far. Quick little thing. I did mention in the last episode, yeah, I'd give Tarzan the extra HP and strength, that's fine for him, but unlike Donald and Goofy, and we'll get to shared later on in the game, Tarzan actually has a fair amount of abilities that you can access really quick. Now, he has particular special abilities, you know, Raging Boar, Ass Spite. I won't really be able to show these off because these 2 moves are not very keen towards a survivalist sort of deal, even though they do nice damage. I'm actually going to equip these 2 abilities right here, and I'm going to unequip this Wind Armor ability, not solely for the fact that it's a bad ability, but it costs 2 MP. And that's really detrimental considering he actually has a healing herb ability which will recharge your HP with an energizing orb. So if we get rid of all the abilities that cost MP, that will be the only one he has. Every time we take damage, we'll have a much better chance at actually, getting healed by Tarzan. Also, we can equip these... words are hard. Equip the critical pluses here to have him do a little more damage occasionally, so that's nice. And also, while we're here, let's customize his AI really quick. Let's have his special attacks not be very frequent, have his defensive moves, like, you know, healing and stuff, and that's pretty much it. Let's leave everything at that. And one last thing I'd like to do is, in case things get a little hairy, we're gonna put on a Mega Ether. I like to conserve that other ether, just in case, because of the next thing we're gonna be doing after we finish this world ultimately. But now, after all that, let's stop delaying the inevitable, and let's head out to other parts of the jungle, because, oh... this is interesting. What we have here is actually a very particular enemy right here. These are white mushrooms. And what white mushrooms do is they will act out sort of like a game of charades, a very particular thing right here. Like various actions, and depending on what they do will affect, you know, what spell you use on them. We only have 2 spells at the moment, so we're kind of limited. But if you see them shivering, use fire, and if you see this little sun above them, you can use thunder. And you can actually get some nice synthesis items and a lot of MP, and that's actually quite nice. We'll be going into much greater detail on these guys as the game progresses, but just keep in mind that they exist. That's actually really convenient. I was wondering when I would actually get a chance to show them off, and I wasn't even planning to until, like, the next world or 2, but that's pretty nice. So, like I was saying before, the Heartless, those are power wilds, and they also have little relatives called bouncy wilds, which are basically the same thing. But there are 5 groups of power wilds in 5 different screens of the game, which actually lends itself to them being spawned in, which means we have to deal with 5 particular areas and eliminate all the Heartless in each area. I cannot talk today, this is terrible. And we need to rescue each gorilla in each area. That's the basic synopsis of it. you can now access this little mini game, and it will basically time you on, you know, how fast you can complete this area. But the main reason I wanted to do that is to show you can just quit out of it like such, and it will take you to the Vines 2 area, which is a nice little shortcut. And the next area where we'll find the Power Wilds is actually the climbing trees right here. Now, let's just do our basic thing like we did beforehand. Use some thunder to get rid of them. That's the main flock right here. Be careful of these guys. They have a variety of attacks. They can lunge at you, they can jump at you, they have a lot of swinging type attacks, they can do a sort of slide, they jump around a lot. Just be a little careful. You don't have to be, like, super defensive, but don't be super aggressive either. So, that's, like, they're only really annoying when you have multiple amounts of them. Much like any regular Heartless, they're only really bad if you have to fight, like, 2 or more at a time. Next place we're going to go here is the little treehouse, because they have infested the little area inside here. Quickly, let's run over to the mob over here. Let's get some thunder off. Very nice. If my party members could help out, that would be appreciative. But I mean, it's like we're handling our own okay so far. Thank you, Donald. Thank you, Tarzan, for healing. Let's get some MP built back up. Oh dear. Okay. Now, as you saw right there, Tarzan actually did be nice to me and healed me, even though I took, like, significant damage right there. That's the main reason why I took off all his MP abilities, like so. So that way, in case something like that does happen, I have, you know, a last resort sort of deal, and Tarzan can maybe chip in to help me if I'm in a really big pinch. So far, this is actually going quite well. I'm doing reasonable on my MP. I'd like to have 2 MP for this next little encounter. You're meant to get the barrel from over there from earlier to get up here, but if you do a... Whoa, no! Why would you do that? If you do a timed attack while you're jumping up here, you can actually make it across. And next thing we're going to do, actually, is jump down here and to the right here. This leads to another area we haven't been to yet, but this is our next place where enemies will be. Here are the Power Wilds again. I forget the exact name of this place, but we'll be able to figure that out. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Oh, no. Okay, this is a little hairy. Let's play it cool, get away from them, use a potion. That's fine. Okay. Oh, man. Come on, Tarzan. Help me out, dude. Come on, Tarzan. Do something. No, he's getting his butt kicked. Okay, thank you. Now that there's only one left, we can play a little bit. We can be safe here, as long as we can corner this guy, he's not really that big of a threat. There we go. And we get ourselves, you get a Roga G's every time you clear out an area. This is the cliff area of Deep Jungle. And I'll actually show you where all this connects eventually. But coming up here, after we've cleared out all the Heartless, we can find ourselves a Mega Potion, which is nice. Speaking of which, let me take out another potion for safety, since we have one more Heartless battle we have to go through. And we can get ourselves a Mithril Shard. That is the most opportune time to pick stuff up. I've routed out in a particular way so we can actually get everything without any extra hassle. Right here we have the, I think it's the Bamboo Thicket it's called, and our last set of Power Wilds. So, just like before, Thunder does magic, does all the work. If, okay, good. Let's try to separate them off. Don't pick them off until they're on their own. Gives you a better chance of survival. And that was actually handled very well. That part can be very irritating at a, even regular Proud, because they can really swarm you if you get really aggressive, but party members were actually pretty helpful, and we held our own. Let's pick up some money while we're here. And there we go, we've cleared out every single area. So that's the Bamboo Thicket, and from those 2 areas you can see how it links back, because now we're in the camp area from earlier. And next thing we have to do once again is actually re-enter this little tent. But we don't know where Clayton was. We've pretty much been all over the place, and we don't really have any more leads on where to go. Anything to say, Jane? I do hope Mr. Clayton is safe. I guess so. I mean, it wasn't cool what he did earlier, but, you know, no one deserves to be really mauled that badly by what I assume was Sabor, and there was a gunshot, presumably maybe from Clayton's gun, so maybe he's over there somewhere. So we're gonna go check it out next time on Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Final Mix HD Level 1 Proud. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Mr. 1. This has been episode, I believe, 9. And we have cleared out a fair bit of Deep Jungle so far, and in episode 10, we're actually gonna finish this world, hopefully. So, next time, we'll go investigate the Bamboo Thicket where we heard the gunshot from, and, you know, see what happens from there. So guys, thank you all once again for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.